Studies show that texting while driving is as risky as driving with a 0.08 blood alcohol level, the standard for drunk driving. The bar graph shows the number of fatalities in the United States involving distracted driving from 2004 through 2008. So the left-hand graph is a bar graph, number of deaths involving distracted driving, and then the years 2004 through 2008. Here we see a line graph, and I want to point out the point 1, 4,571 and the point 4, 5,870. We're going to use those 2 points later in the problem. In this case, years after 2004 is the horizontal axis, which is represented by the first coordinate of those points. And we still have the number of deaths involving distracted driving on the vertical axis, and those would be represented by the second coordinates of the points. Although the distracted category involves such activities as talking on cell phones, conversing with passengers, and eating, experts at the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration claim that texting while driving is the clearest menace because it requires looking away from the road. Now, shown to the right of the bar graph is a scatter plot with a line passing through 2 of the data points. Use the 2 points, whose coordinates are shown by the voice balloons, to write the point-slope form of an equation that models the number of highway fatalities involving distracted driving, y, in the United States, x years after 2004. I've written those 2 points on this sheet, and now we will find the point-slope form. That means first find the slope. The slope is the difference in the y coordinates divided by the difference in the x coordinates. Evaluating the numerator, that's 1,299. The denominator is equal to 3. Dividing, we find that the slope is 433. The formula for point slope of a line is y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. We substitute in that the slope is 433. We can select either of the 2 points. I select this point and substitute 1 for x sub 1, 4,571 for y sub 1. So we would have y minus 4,571 is equal to 433 times the quantity x minus 1. Write this equation in slope-intercept form. Use function notation. The equation to which we refer is y minus 4,571 equals 433 times x minus 1. To write it in slope-intercept form, we first need to distribute the 433 on the right-hand side, and we need to add 4,571 to both sides. So we would have y is equal to 433x minus 433 plus 4,571. We also want to use function notation, so now I will substitute f of x for y, and that's equal to 433x plus 4,138. In 2010, surveys showed overwhelming public support to ban texting while driving, although at that time only 19 states and Washington, D.C. outlawed the practice. Without additional laws that penalize texting drivers, use the slope-intercept form of the linear function to project the number of fatalities in the United States in 2014 involving distracted driving. Well, remember, the X refers to the number of years after 2004. So 2014 would be 10 years after 2004. So we want to evaluate f of 10. F of 10 will be equal to 433 times x, so that's times 10, plus 4,138. When we evaluate that, the result is 8,468, and that tells us that the projected number of fatalities in the United States in 2014 involving distracted drivers would be 8,468.